ShinRobjira.
Ah yes, the Godzilla Store exclusive Bandai Movie Monster Series Hedorah Retro Color version. Retro Color Hedorah is based upon... maybe all of these? I don't know. Do you know? Let me know in the comment section down below. Fret not the specifics of this color palette's origins because at the end of the day, this is just a re-release of the 2007 Movie Monster Series mold Hedorah. And that's not to talk the release down at all. This mold is quite legendary. It's very well detailed and it's very well painted in both regards. Speaking of which, you want to talk about something that's well made. Godzilla vs. Hedorah is one of my personal favorite Godzilla movies of all time, and as you can tell, I have two different copies of it, including the version that came with the Criterion Collection, so yeah, I like Godzilla vs. Hedorah a lot, actually. This is one of the Godzilla movies that I've actually watched the very, very most of, so this retro color Hedorah was very much an instant purchase for me, for more than just me being a Bandai whore, but just for the fact that I love Hedorah, and this color scheme is just wild. This is just one of those times where a Bandai figure really doesn't need to be fully painted for it to just look amazing. Because, look at this. Even from a side view, Retro Color Hedorah is an eye catcher. Like, I can't believe oh my god, I forgot to talk about the tag. My apologies, everybody. I essentially loaded the tag up upon getting this out of the box because it was a tad bit on the warp side, but I think this has pretty much straightened it out. Beautiful image of our smoggy queen or king. I don't know if it's actually officially been determined if Hedorah is female or male. I think some of us just assumed that it might be female because of the eggs at the end. Then again, some people say that it's Hedorah's eyes. Or his testicles. But anyway, beautiful image. Love the red smog at the bottom of the tag, but what I love most is this. The Hedorah 50th logo. Honestly, I love this so much I bought the vinyl keychain off of the Godzilla store. Just love this. Hate that I missed the shirts. Even cooler is the back of the tag, where you can see an outline of Hedorah with black and red. Very, very cool. And on the inside, we can see a silhouette of Hedorah saying retro color version and pretty much everything else it says in these tags. Remember, kids, pollution is bad because it might come back as a giant sentient acidic monster that'll melt you to the bone. So back to the paint. In-hand retro color version Hedorah is truly something to behold. I love the yellow and orange on the eyes. I really don't mind that there's some bleed through there with the yellow or that it was messily applied because with Hedorah, it just works. The thing is pollution incarnate, so it looking neat to any sense of the word kinda wouldn't really be in character, would it? I love the plain orange of the iris and the dark, soulless pupils. And it's all surrounded by this very murky silver and black. Now, originally, I thought this would be of the same silver used on the 2007 version, but as you can see in comparison, it absolutely is not. It's an entirely darker silver. Very, very cool. And yes, it pretty much is the same base color of black. With that being said, of course, you are going to see some metallic blues and purples scattered throughout this figure's body, and said paint just does a very beautiful job highlighting all of the amazing details on this figure. There really is no reason to make a new Hedorah mold, because this mold is honestly just perfected. I really see nothing wrong with it. It's drippy, it's metallic, it's gross, it's Hedorah. It's awesome. And again, everywhere that metallic paint is, it just brings the detail out to a whole new level of amazing. Yeah, this looks great, it looks accurate, and it looks Hedorah, but something about this Technicolor metallic blue just hits differently. And I truly believe it doesn't hit any better than it does on the back of Hedorah, which on the original figure, it looked like a huge boiling infection. Here, it looks like a loud vaporwave backpack. Again, I must truly sing all of my praises for this mold's amount of detail because boy, there is a lot of it. And the metallic purple leading into the metallic blue really just brings it forth in such a beautiful way. It honestly looks like Hedorah has taken on a bit of an oil puddle color. And said color follows all the way out even through to the tip of the tail. Yep, Bandai painted a tail all the way to the tip. Blue and purple. But that's not all they did. On the original Movie Monster Series Hedorah, the bottom of Hedorah's arms were painted this very vibrant green radioactive PP looking yellow. I guess you could say yellow. yellowish green. Well, on the newest version, they kept true to that theme and painted the undersides of the arms metallic blue. Just look at that shiny amazingness. It's like a mixture of being really beautiful and possibly extremely toxic and dangerous at the same time. And if that's not Hedorah for you, I don't know what is. I really do believe Bandai just had all the fun with this release. They took an already beloved and established mold and finally did something new and fun with it. In all honesty, when it comes to their Godzilla Store exclusives, I wish they would do this with older molds more often. Yeah, we got a few Godzilla Store exclusive retro outfitted figures, but I would definitely say Hedorah is the best of the two. Well, 3 now, technically. One was awesome just for seeing that particular mold again with a new coat of paint, and the other one was a little bit of a letdown. Hedorah does not let down in the slightest. Because I honestly believe retro color version Hedorah is the way Bandai should be going about their exclusives. And don't worry, we'll get to those other aforementioned retro figures in a bit. In terms of paint, I am going to give Hedorah a full star, and in terms of detail, I am going to be giving Hedorah a full star. Now, when it comes to articulation, much like the Elder figure, you're just going to be able to turn the arms, and there is a lot of resistance this time around, so it's not something that I'm going to be doing anyway. But even then, if I were to do that, I would still be missing out on showing off the metallic blue and the metallic purple on the tops of the arms. So in terms of articulation, I'm going to give Hedorah a solid star as well. Now you might be asking, Rob, what other retro-colored figures were you talking about? Well, one of them was this lovely lad. Now yes, this was based off of an older figure, a Marmot, I believe, maybe even an M1, not sure. But as you can see, this is a very solid color. There really is no differentiation in the color aside from the mouth and the eyes. And yes, this is a very cool thing to do, but most of the hype for this release was for the mold itself. We hadn't seen a Mechagodzilla 2 mold in quite some time, 2004, 2007, one of those. And finally having it back on the market to some extent was a real rush, a real joy. So in terms of its paint, you know, I can't really say much. It's metallic green, I like it, it's nice. The other retro figure though, this thing really could have just used a little bit more love like Hedorah got. I don't mean to drag retro color Godzilla 1954 through the mud again, but seriously, look at all of this. And now look at that. It's quite clear that Bandai has Hedorah favoritism, and you know what? I do too, and I don't mind that this exists. But it's like, Bandai, we know what you can do. We know what you can do for exclusive figures. Try doing that with all of your exclusive figures, please. That's all I'm going to say. I've already said my piece on this guy. Link in the description below at the end of the video, yada yada yada. Retro color Hedorah is gonna look mighty fine next to my standard Movie Monster Series Hedorah, and again, I really couldn't be happier with this thing. At first, yes, the black patches on the figure did leave me a little bit upset, but really just looking at this, if this thing was fully metallic blue and purple, yeah, that would have looked cool, but I feel like that really would have taken away from Hedorah. Now, Hedorah has been done in multicolors, many multicolors over the years, especially from Marmot, but in comparison here, this feels like this could have been an alternate suit design for Hedorah. For me personally, that's how it feels. It looks that good alongside the original. And honestly, when it comes to comparing the two together, they genuinely feel like two different figures. The paint is so obviously different, I can't even say one's better than the other because they're both two massive takes, and I love them both so very equally. And no, this isn't an alternate mode with the tail sculpted to be coming off the ground. Mine from Zen Market just came packaged in such a way where it was kind of squished up like so. You can see a little bit better what I'm talking about here. If anybody ordered from Zen Market, be wary, this might be happening to you. But anybody that knows vinyl figures, you know that this is the easiest thing in the world to fix. And I assure you, by the time this video comes out, this is already done and fixed. But anyway, retro color version Hedorah is yet again just what I want to see coming out of Godzilla Store exclusives. Funner repaints. They don't necessarily need to be remolds or new molds with different arms or different legs. I mean, you could do that if you want, Bandai, but I don't need that. Just put some care and love into your paint applications and everything and your color schemes, and I will be so beyond happy with it. The only reason I give retro color Godzilla any flack is just because it's just not fully realized. Retro color Hedorah over here feels fully realized. It looks fully realized. It's going to catch eyes with how fully realized it looks, and I just want to see more of that. Even if you're 100% grappling off of Marmot, Maru-san, Gigabrain, M1, any of those. If you're totally just copping those paint jobs, it's okay. I don't care what molds you use, as long as they look cool like this, I am there for it. But then again, I am a Bandai Movie Monster Series stan, and I will always buy a new one whenever it drops. But that's besides the point. I don't think I could sing my praises any louder for that of Retro Color Hedorah, and if you don't have it, you should definitely look into trying to find it, but only do it for the right price. As much as I love this thing and its lovely colors, I would not suggest paying the $60, $70, $80 you'd have to pay for this thing on eBay or something like that, because I don't know if it's exactly that worth it. But if you love Hedorah like I do, I know a price tag like that really wouldn't matter too much. But then again, I'm insane, so I guess I can't really speak for everybody. Retro Color Hedorah, 50th anniversary version Hedorah, whatever you want to call him, her, it, this figure, by my standards, is an absolute success. I love the paint job, as I've said. I love that it's the 2007 Movie Monster Series mold, because that mold really is perfect. Like, why even try recreating that? And again, Bandai, this is the type of work I want to see coming out of your Godzilla store exclusives. This is wholly worth it. And it honestly just makes me so happy that Toho would go above and beyond to give Hedorah its very own stamp, its very own logo for its 50th anniversary. I'm surprised they didn't do that with Mothra for her 60th. At least we haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Retro Color Hedorah. If you can find them for a good price, definitely pick it up. If you're gonna pay extra for it, be a Hedorah fan and do that, because just look at this. Just look at this. This is the most adorable, acidic, sludgy tadpole I have ever seen in my entire life, and it's outfitted in the oil slick colors. How can you hate it? I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Right? Like a baby's coo.